Build your dreams, live rich, and leave rich.
What if the real secret to wealth had nothing to do with picking the perfect stock, but had everything to do with mastering the right mindset? Today, we're going to explore a really powerful philosophy that completely redefines what it means to be rich. We're going to shift the goal away from luxury and status to something way more valuable: peace. And hey, just a quick heads up, that little disclaimer you see on screen, it's just a reminder that this is all for educational purposes. Now, when you hear the phrase live rich, I want you to just completely erase those images of flashy cars and crazy spending. That's not what this is about at all. Live rich simply means living a life of peace, of stability, and real confidence, where your money is working for you, not the other way around. And this quote, it just nails the core idea perfectly. So many people think finance is this big external game of charts and market predictions. But the truth is, it's an internal game. It's never about outsmarting the market. It's about mastering your own psychology. Your long-term success, I promise you, is decided right up here, in your mind, long before it ever shows up in your bank account. So here's the journey we're going to take together in this explainer. We'll start with the most important part, the foundation, the psychology of wealth. Then we'll get real about the market, we'll embrace this really empowering live rich philosophy, and then we'll get practical. We're talking about building your financial fortress, using the right tools, and finally claiming that ultimate reward, a life of real freedom. All right, let's start with that foundation. Because believe me, how you think and feel about money, well, it dictates every single financial outcome in your life, for better or for worse. What's so fascinating is that it's all a chain reaction, right? It all starts with your mindset. That mindset, it controls your behavior. Do you panic or are you patient? And then your behavior determines how consistent you are with saving and investing. And it's that consistency, practiced over years and years, that actually generates real returns. Wealth is never an accident. It is the direct result of a disciplined and peaceful mind.
Okay, so let's say you've cultivated that right mindset. But you know, it's easy to have a peaceful mind when everything's going up. The real test is what happens when the market goes into a free fall. And that's where we learn to accept the unavoidable price of admission.
Imagine this for a second. Your mutual fund portfolio is sitting at 2 crore rupees. You're feeling fantastic. And then a crash hits. Suddenly, you look at your portfolio and it's dropped to 1.6 crore. 40 lakh rupees, poof, vanished into thin air. You know, it's funny. When a real estate property's value drops, nobody really panics because you can't see the price fluctuate every single day. But with stocks and mutual funds, seeing that number drop, that feeling you get in your stomach, that feeling is the test.
But here, this is the single most important mindset shift you can possibly make. That drop, it is not a failure. It's not a loss you have to escape from. It is the price of admission. It's the fee you pay to participate in the greatest wealth creation machine in history. A peaceful investor doesn't see this as a time to panic and sell. No, they see it as a sale, a huge opportunity to invest more at a discount.
And this brings us to the ultimate priority, the absolute bottom line. Just ask yourself this. If a 10% drop in your portfolio completely ruins your sleep and fills you with anxiety, then your asset allocation is wrong for you. Your mental health, your ability to be present for your family, that is infinitely more valuable than any number on a screen. You are the engine of your family's well-being. Protect that engine above everything else.
And this leads us right into the core philosophy, and it's one that challenges so much of the mainstream advice you hear out there. We're talking no toxic minimalism, no extreme saving that just punishes you and your family. To live rich simply means to live peacefully. It's about using your money strategically to remove financial pressure so that you have the freedom to actually enjoy your life today, not just in some distant, far-off future. It's all about balance, not deprivation. And you have to remember, you are not on this journey alone. Personal finance is a family sport. Your financial stress doesn't just belong to you. It spills over and becomes your family stress. But the amazing thing is, the reverse is also true. Your financial peace becomes their peace. Every single decision, from taking out a huge home loan to buying insurance, it affects the entire team. Now, this is especially critical for the middle class, because honestly, they are the most financially vulnerable group. They dream big, but just one bad financial decision, a medical emergency without insurance, a really bad loan, can push a family 10 years backwards. And that is why, before we can even think about growing wealth, we have to build a fortress. Every family everywhere shares these three fundamental fears, right? But the beauty of financial planning is that it gives you a direct, concrete answer to every single one of them. This is how we transform that deep-seated anxiety into real security.
And when we talk about protection, nothing, and I mean nothing, is more important than insurance. And here's the crucial mindset shift. Insurance is not for you, it's for them. It is the ultimate act of love. It's ensuring that if something happens to you, the people you care about most are protected. It secures their future, their home, their education. It secures your legacy.
Okay, so let's be crystal clear about the two main types of protection. I want you to think of health insurance almost like a contribution to a collective safety net. You're paying into a shared risk pool, hoping you never have to draw from it, but knowing it's there for anyone who does. It protects the wealth you've already built from being wiped out by a medical crisis. And please, always disclose every single past condition to make sure your claim is honored when you need it most. Life insurance, on the other hand, is different. Its only job is to replace your future income for your family. That's it. It is protection, not an investment.
So, once that fortress of protection is built, we need the day-to-day tools to manage our financial lives peacefully. And this isn't about restriction. This is about organization and being intentional with your money.
Let's totally reframe budgeting. I know, the word itself sounds restrictive, but it's not about cutting out all the fun from your life. It's about organizing your money so you can spend guilt-free on the things you actually value, like vacations and celebrations. When a family knows they have, say, 5,000 rupees set aside for entertainment, they make smarter choices. This sets clear expectations, and clear expectations create peace in a relationship. A good budget eliminates the leaks, not the happiness.
Debt is another really powerful tool. I mean, let's be honest, it's pretty hard to get rich on salary alone. Wise use of debt can absolutely help. But here's the rule. Anything that takes away your sleep at night is bad debt. Good debt helps you build assets that grow in value, like a responsible home loan for a place to live. Bad debt? It just builds anxiety. It's for status symbols and things that lose value, all financed with high interest payments that just steal your peace. Use debt to build your future, but never, ever let it destroy your present. So we've covered the mindset, the protection, and the tools. But what's the end game here? What is the real reward for all of this discipline? I can tell you it's not just a big number in a bank account, it's something far, far more valuable.
It all starts with a tangible goal, something we're going to call a dignity fund. Why dignity? Because this is the money that allows you to live life on your own terms, with your head held high. So, for example, if your monthly expenses are around 50,000 rupees, your first major goal might be to build a fund of 1 crore. This isn't some random number. It's the financial foundation that can potentially sustain you and unlock true freedom.
Now, what's really amazing is seeing how life changes once this fund is in place. You know, people joke that a personal loan means you love your job, a home loan means you love your boss, and a car loan means you love your company. The reality is, you're trapped. But just imagine having that 1 crore sitting there. You can walk away from a toxic boss. You can walk away from a disrespectful workplace. A medical emergency becomes a manageable problem, not a life-altering catastrophe. You gain the most powerful thing money can buy, the freedom to choose your own path.
And this all leads to the final and maybe the most profound mindset shift of all. In a world that is obsessed with FOMO, the fear of missing out, a peaceful investor embraces POMO, the pleasure of missing out, the pleasure of ignoring the hot new trend, the pleasure of sticking to your disciplined plan, and most importantly, the pleasure of sleeping soundly at night because your financial life is built on a foundation of peace, not pressure.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Your money is an incredibly powerful tool. It can definitely buy you things, it can even buy you status. But I want you to ask yourself honestly, is it buying you what truly matters? Is it buying you peace of mind? Make sure the answer is yes. Thanks so much for joining us.